Splash, Simba, Hydrox, and Boo, the LuckyFerals. It is 7:26 a.m. and I forgot to defrost raw food for the cats. So I just took out their raw food, I took out their portions, and I put it on this baking sheet. And the baking sheet is on top of my cast iron stove grates. I have a gas stove. So this is just going to sit here for an hour. It's going to defrost, and I'm going to feed the cats at 8:30, which is around their normal feeding time. Recently, I've been just trying to adjust my schedule so I get up a bit earlier, and I am home earlier before it gets dark. So right now, I'm just going to go about my morning and then come back to this in an hour and give them food. What sucks about that is I'm going to have the cats pestering me for the next hour until they eat. We're not eating yet, Stella. I have to defrost the food, okay? We're not eating yet, Simba. I have to defrost the food, okay? 8:38 a.m. I'm just about to feed the cats their breakfast, but first I'm giving them some wheatgrass. Now, this wheatgrass is pretty much at the end of its usefulness, because today I noticed that it's becoming very thin. It might be because I have not watered it in several days. They say not to water it every day, but a few times a week, and I don't remember the last time I watered it. I also did have it in a window with southern exposure, but it's been super cloudy, so I thought that would not affect it. It could just be that it's near the end of its life cycle. They say that wheatgrass does have a fairly short lifespan. What I would like to do, which is just a thought at this time, is to make like a whole tray full of cat grass, like big enough that the cats can roll around in it. I bet they would love to like roll around in some real grass, but I don't want to let them outside. When I was growing up, we didn't feed our cats cat grass. We fed them lettuce. They used to love eating lettuce. So if you don't have cat grass readily available for your cats, you can try feeding them a few pieces of lettuce. We had one cat that just loved iceberg lettuce. But cats like to chew on greens. I mean, that's why a lot of times they'll chew on houseplants. But it's better to give them greens that we know are safe to eat and will have some nutritional value. Stella's looking at the food. So here's their food this morning. It is pretty much defrosted right now. I've put it on separate plates just because I feel like it. I'm going to put some herbs on here, put some water on there, and feed it to the cats. And there they are, eating on their separate plates, except for Splash. He's looking upstairs. I mean, he's sitting. Splash is right there, and there the cats are, so he'll eat once I go upstairs. Good morning, Boo. Good morning, Boo. Are you ready to eat your breakfast? Remember, with Boo, it's always a greet and eat. It's never an eat and greet. It's always a great and eat. He's gonna stretch. No, he's gonna scratch. Okay. It is like 9:15 right now, and this is what happens when I feed the cats on separate plates. They don't eat their food. When I feed them on the platter, they gobble it up. It's the same food. There's no difference. Right now, I am bringing some food outside for Hydrox. This is some of the Nature's Variety Pride canned food. I believe this is the chicken chunks or chicken bits. I don't know what they call it exactly. I just put Hydrox's food on the plate holder and it's under the table. And there is no dry food whatsoever in the feeder, which means I need to check to make sure that there's food in the feeder. Today is the first day that really feels like winter. According to this thermometer, it's only like 37 degrees out. Okay, so I just opened up the feeder and there's plenty of food in here, and it says the next time it's dispensing food is at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, which makes me think that it already dispensed food this morning and maybe the food has been eaten. I don't know. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. So here is the other doghouse shelter. This will be the first winter using this shelter. So let's take a look at the inside. This is one big piece of insulation that is rested across the top of this doghouse to make a lower ceiling for it. Without this, it kind of has like a cathedral ceiling that goes up to the roofs. Like you can see the rafters. So this makes like a drop ceiling, and that'll help keep the heat down. If there's an animal in here, like a cat, it'll help keep the heat down. So this is what the inside of this shelter looks like. There's insulation on the walls. There's insulation on the bottom, and there was a whole bunch of straw inside. I just put the straw inside. There was a towel inside of it, but that was put there when the weather was warm. This doghouse style shelter was put up months ago during the summer. So it was time to take that out and put in the straw. So this will give them something to kind of burrow in and keep warm in. So they'll have the insulation reflecting their body heat back onto them, and they'll also have the straw. Eventually I'll also put flaps on the doors. I think I'm gonna put the clear vinyl flaps on the door so they could look out also. So that's this one. Stella is watching everything I'm doing from the door, and Boo is watching everything I'm doing from the window. Okay, new experiment this year. I have this little portable greenhouse. I just took it out, put it together, and I'm putting my begonia in here. And I want to see how long it survives outside in this greenhouse. Okay, all of the plants are now in their greenhouse, so let this experiment begin. On top, we have the geraniums, marigolds, and purple salvia. In the middle, I have those portulacas. On the bottom, I have the begonia. And this plastic is really cold and stiff right now, so as it heats up, I'll be able to stretch it out better. This is the heated pet mat that was used last year in the Rubbermaid shelter. I'm thinking of putting this in the wooden shelter this year. This is from K&H. It's khmfg.com, and this plugs in, and the cat lays on it or the dog lays on it, and it's warm for them. It does not get overly warm, just warm enough to keep them safe and happy. This is what the back looks like, and this is a removable cover for it. It's like a fleece cover, but they do suggest to use it with the cover and not just with the pad. And because it does warm up, if it does get wet, it will, or it should dry itself. So here is the custom-made wooden cat shelter that is under the house. It's like this little alcove. So right here we have the vestibule. This vestibule comes out. Then we have the cat shelter. Originally this was the entrance to the cat shelter, but it definitely stays warmer and less breezy with a vestibule in front of it. So that's why the vestibules were added on. They're not attached because it's easier just to keep them modular, but they were added on. So this is what the top looks like. It is insulated. And this is what it looks like inside this shelter. There are 2 of the self-heating cat mats. And there's like a fleece blanket. Actually 2 fleece blankets. And some flannel pajamas. And it's fully insulated on all sides. And I'm just trying to think, like, obviously if I put this heated mat in here, I'm going to take some stuff out. So, okay, let me go grab some gloves so I can take this stuff out. Check that out. So when I was taking all the stuff out of it, I found that green pool toy. I was looking for that for months, and I just gave up looking for it because I couldn't find it anywhere. Well, one of the cats took it in here. That's funny, right? So this is the bottom. The bottom has the silver insulation, but above the silver insulation is just like an indoor-outdoor carpeting, a few small pieces of that. And then on top of that carpeting, we have these 2 self-heating pet mats. So when the pet lays on these, their body heat is redirected right back to them. Now, links to all these mats and heating products and shelter products can be found in the description below this video. Now, this heated mat is like a perfect fit. So I actually took away the self-heating mat that was under here. I'm leaving the self-heating mat over here. So if like Hydrax comes in here, he could, you know, hang out over here. But if he lays here, then he'll have the heat from the heated mat. And the wire is going to go out the door and out the vestibule. The only other thing that I'm doing is putting back one of those fleece blankets, and I'm just wrapping it against that wall there, so it's something comfy to kind of lay against. And so there we have it. The wooden shelter has been reassembled, the vestibules are put back on, and there is the wire for the heated pet mat. I have it hooked into these extension cords. It's like a 3-way splitter. The other splitter is going to the heated pet bowl. And right now, I'm just putting this mat on top of it. So no cats will get into it. I've never had issues with the outside cats like chewing on extension cords or anything. The only issues I've had with the inside cats chewing on electrical cords is headphones, earbuds, and my computer power cables. Not like the cable part that goes into the wall, but the part that plugs into the computer. I believe Simba likes to chew on that stuff, but they have to be like the really thin ones. So these are the heated pet food bowls. This is called the Kitty Cafe. And normally what I do is I put water in this one, and then I put the food in this one. I kind of do it backwards. But I like to make sure that they have as much fresh, unfrozen water as possible, and that their food stays warm. Right now I'm not putting anything in this right now, just because it's not going to freeze yet, and I'm just doing this now, this morning, because it's probably the best time for me to do it just based on my schedule. So that means we do have this one other self-heating pet mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the new doghouse shelter. I'm going to put this under the straw. So this pet mat is like a perfect fit for this doghouse. Like, it is crazy how it's such a perfect fit. It does not fit all the way up to the side walls. There's a couple inches around each side, but that's what makes it perfect, because it, you know, we don't want it all the way to the edge because we don't want it getting wet. So it does leave a little bit of leeway space in there. So while I'm at it, let me show you guys the water tub. It's basically just this large blue Rubbermaid tub, and it has a smaller little white tub inside of it that's holding the water. I just take the white tub out, empty it, clean it, refill it, and it's really easy to do. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm running late. Now with the cats, what I do like to do is use the color blue anytime I give them water. So like outside, I use the blue tub for like a water station, and then inside, all their water bowls are blue ceramic water bowls. 10:20 a.m. Just came back inside, and they finished most of their food. It is 6:40 p.m. I am just getting home. I was supposed to be home like 2 hours ago, but I got stuck at work and I'm getting home late. So right now I'm gonna feed the cats. It looks like they've all been sleeping because it's been dark down here and I have not left any lights on. I thought I would be back before it got dark. Now the other thing that's weird is they have free roam right now. They could be anywhere in the house and they're all down here. So I guess they like it down here. You guys want to eat? So this is what is left of their breakfast plates. Hello, Stella. Where's Splash? Hey, Splash. Hello, Splash. Hello, Boo. How are you? Come on, we're gonna eat dinner. We're gonna eat dinner? That's not a scratching post. That's not a scratching mat. Come on. Let's eat. It is 6:45 and I am giving Boo some food. He's been on a live stream all day. He's getting his Nature's Variety Instinct bites and some of the Primal Raw nuggets and his herbs and some water.